Hi, good morning, Healing Spot community. This morning I'm going to be interviewing Charlene Wang of Auric Nutrition and Wellness. So I'm just going to wait a second here while she pops into the group and I can connect with her and get her onto this video.
Sorry, that's
Good morning, Charlene.
good
I'm so
morning.
sorry about all the technical difficulties.
Oh, no worries. I'm just glad I was able to get through. It was a
Yeah,
little bit of a challenge, but hi, good morning, everyone. Hi, Justine.
yeah. Good morning. Thank you for thank you for coming on and being here. I'm going to just tell them a little bit about you and then we'll get started with the questions, okay?
Sure. Can you hear me
So
okay?
I mentioned that you were from Auric. Yeah, I can. Can you guys maybe just give a thumbs up or give us some feedback? Megan's watching. All right. So we're going to get started. So Charlene has been helping people meet their health goals in California and Colorado through her work as a registered dietitian and a level 5 healing touch practitioner. Her services include disease prevention through nutrition, digestive issues, food sensitivity testing, weight loss plans, and energy healing therapy. Charlene combines Western nutritional science and its evidence-based practice with Eastern nutritional science and medicine and its emphasis on underlying causes and achieving balance in the mind, body, and soul. She has been featured on Fox News and is a contributing writer for Doctors Quarterly magazine, which guys, I posted her article yesterday on finding food sensitivities that she had written for Doctors Quarterly. So check out that in this group. So welcome, Charlene.
Thank
And
you.
we're going to get started. So tell us just a little bit about yourself and how you became a dietitian and a healing touch practitioner.
Sure, absolutely. Well, originally I'm from the San Francisco Bay Area. I did my undergrad and graduate in San Diego and Los Angeles, and then I matched for my dietetic residency in Colorado Springs. Absolutely loved it. I'm having a hard time going back home, but I feel like I've got a good future here. I've There was an incident that occurred back in 2008 where I was mixed diagnosed with cancer, and that made me question my entire life, the health system, etc. The only option was chemo and radiation, and that was one of those aha moments that can that really be the only option when in all these ancient civilizations there's 5,000 years worth of medicine. So I
Mm-hmm.
really shifted my train of thought and I delved into not just physical healing, but mental healing, spiritual healing, emotional healing to get through this process. And luckily, it was a misdiagnosis, but I don't believe in mistakes. I really felt that it was one way to pull me out of the hustle and bustle of today's society and to really go into the route of healing. So I looked into the ancient ways of healing, the modern ways of healing, and metaphysical ways of healing. And that process was so grueling for me, but so enlightening that I felt I need to change my purpose in life and really shift my awareness towards making this something that I can share with other people who are going through this and are who feel that there are no other options. And so I embraced
Mm-hmm.
all of these different aspects and try to integrate them into people who feel that Western medicine is the only solution. And that is how I ended
Mm-hmm.
up
Well,
where I am.
yeah, that's quite a story. I'm glad it was a misdiagnosis and it was a scare, but
I
that
know,
it
so was I.
you on this path because I know personally you're helping so many people and this is it's really needed. I'm going to tell the viewers. So I met Charlene. Actually, was she was recommended to me through a friend who Charlene has been helping through some food sensitivities, and I ended up taking my 10-year-old daughter to her because Piper had been complaining of tummy aches for a long time, and I just started suspecting that maybe it was food related. I didn't know. So we went earlier this year, and I actually had suspected I had maybe some sensitivities to food as well. Charlene found out my daughter had intestinal parasites and an overgrowth of yeast in her stomach. And just through some supplements, but mainly through food, she was able to cure that within a couple months, and she's helped me tremendously. Um, so yeah, so we're going to dive into that a little bit more on how actually you do this. So tell us just a little bit about, just your area of expertise, the food, the nutrition, the food sensitivity testing. How does that work? And how do you do that to help people?
Sure. Can you hear me okay? My headpiece went off all of a sudden.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully the viewers can too. Good morning, Terry. Yeah.
All right. So, I utilize what's called applied kinesiology, and this is also known as muscle testing. This is a system that tests muscle signaling to find the energetic status of what's going on in the body. And Justine, are you familiar with the word qi? QI? It's Mandarin
Yes.
for energy.
Yep.
It's the same qi that's used in the words Tai Chi, that ancient movement of practice that the Chinese practice, Qigong, etc. And so that is a concept that I feel like is a very untapped resource towards finding deeper rooted issues and how to address them. I also use it for finding food sensitivities, for finding emotional blockages, and then checking the energetic status of organs and glands in the body. So it has been a tremendous tool for me to really dig deep and investigate what's going on in the body. As you said, we work together and I address some food sensitivities that I found just through muscle testing. There's no needles involved, like your usual prick test. But for me, I find that addressing which organs and glands are energetically compromised and treating it with a natural remedy to be one of the best sources of healing. So when I say natural remedies, I mean good old-fashioned nutrition, what you need to eat more of, which vitamins, which minerals, which oils, herbs, clays, etc. It really comes down to the basics, and there's no fancy machine for muscle testing. It's just the good old-fashioned hands and body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It is unconventional. And, I know when, you started with Piper and tested her, and I got home and my husband was like, how did she find this? And skeptical, but, I was there and I got to hear, you're very knowledgeable about how all the organs work together. And if the gallbladder's not doing this, and, I don't know all that, but so I'm not going to act like I do, but, you explained all of that to me. So I trusted that. But I remember you saying, don't focus on the method or the methodology, focus on the outcome. And, and we did notice that, obviously you helped her through your methods. And so I'm a complete believer, even though I know he was a little skeptical at first, but it works.
Absolutely. Muscle testing is a very new concept, although it is used widely in Europe, Canada, Asia, and Americans are still getting use of it. It's widely used amongst chiropractors and slowly trickling out to other healthcare practitioners. But again, like I told Justine, you really have to focus on the results. Don't worry so much about how we're finding the result, how we're finding and investigating the body. Just focus on the results, because as long as you just go with my guidance, trust what I'm telling you, then you will get results. But again, it's all you that's doing it. All I'm going to do is guide you. You do all the dirty work. You have to be spiritually enthusiastic on healing, and the rest will fall in place. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not like a pharmaceutical drug. It is natural healing. And when you're reversing and strengthening certain organs and glands, it takes time.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It absolutely does work. So tell us a little more about who you help, as far as, what are people maybe complaining of, or what kind of symptoms or signs are they experiencing? I mentioned tummy aches with Piper, but what else? Like, what are people suffering from that they would know, gosh, I really should look into this and maybe call Charlene and get some help?
Sure. Well, My main specialty is digestive issues. So if there's gas, bloating, sensitive digestion, slow digestion, diarrhea, constipation that seems to be chronic, that is one thing that I can address right away. Other than that, fatigue, sluggishness, mind fog, um, difficulty remembering things, difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, weight loss, poor memory are just a few of the main symptoms that I can help address. And the age range spans from pregnant women to babies to senior citizens. I can even help animals as well because it's really just nutrition and muscle testing. There is no limit when it comes to changing the diet.
Wow, that's awesome. I know me personally, one of the things I was struggling with was staying asleep. You know, I've gone through periods of time, and you talked to me about that too, on, you know, certain times of the night that I was waking up and what organs those were associated with, and also how to, you know, how to change my nutrition to help. So yeah. Um, let's see. So what I'm going to ask, what does healing mean to you? Because I'm a physical therapist, and I'm all about healing and all, you know, just different ways of looking at the body and the mind and the spirit, and how can we, look at things as a whole. But for you personally, or even as a professional, what does healing mean to you?
Healing means to me being free of disease. And when I say disease or disease and imbalance, and when I say a disease and imbalance, that is not just physically, that is mentally, that is emotionally, and spiritually. If you are not well, or if you break down the word dis-ease, if you're dis-eased in any of those aspects of your life, then you want to bring yourself back into balance. And again, there's the Chinese concepts of yin and yang. One of another is just can be cause an imbalance, which theoretically can cause disease if there is an excess of one. So for healing for me is balancing the body, your emotions, your spirit, your energy field, etc., so that you are in harmony. And so it's a very Eastern way of looking at healing, but healing to me ultimately means you're in balance on so many different scales.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk just a little bit about the healing touch, because I know, you know, like I'm just, this is kind of personal, but like I know when some people hear spirituality or spirit, they think automatically religion. And I know you and I have different religions, and I'm going to you, and that it doesn't hinder in any way, or it doesn't stop me from seeing you. It doesn't stop me from receiving healing through your hands. So tell us just a little bit about the healing touch aspect, if you would.
Sure, absolutely. First off, I do want to talk about when I address spiritually. In no way do I mean religiously. I really mean your spirit, how you're living and how you're perceiving the world, how you're perceiving yourself. If your spirit is not well, then you are not going to heal as fast as you should, which is why I really addressed mindfulness and being optimistic, catching your thoughts so that you're not always in a negative state of mind. So with healing touch is very broad spectrum. It doesn't matter what religion, what background or conditioning you have towards energy healing. This goes back to Chinese medicine, you know, that we are energetic beings. And that is what acupuncture addresses, to balance the energy flows, to release any type of congestion or blockages, to pull out any type of heaviness that shouldn't be there. And healing touch is really, again, this comes back to the word balancing, to balance your energy fields. There are 7 energy centers in the body, and the organs closest to them is what pulls off of that energy. And we have meridians, we have energetic pathways, and the healthier those are, the faster we can heal, the faster we can deal with our any types of emotions stored in certain parts of the body. So it gets very metaphysical, but overall, if you are energetically balanced, if your energy centers are strong and open, if you are not holding on to emotions, then energetically you are very healthy. It also means that you Well, the less negativity you're holding on to in your life, the less negativity you're affected mentally and physically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we've talked about this a little bit because I know, I do Reiki and I've been trying to educate people about the energy centers, the chakras, and I know Healing Touch is very similar. It works along the similar pathways. So thank you for touching on that.
Sure.
So let's see, did you want to add anything else about that? Healing Touch or balancing?
No, not just that. You know, you have to have an open mind. Again, this is a very complementary type of healing, but this type of healing stems back to thousands of years ago, and many ancient cultures practice some form of energy healing. If you think of Tai Chi and Qigong, you're essentially doing energy healing yourself. You're moving energy around. Acupuncture is the movement of energy and flow and stimulating certain parts of the energetic field. So it's essentially one form of energy healing amongst many, many others out there.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna start to wrap it up here. Just for one, if anybody has any questions, please leave them. Okay, so just put them in the chat box, and I'll see them, and I'll ask Charlene them. Do you have any parting words of wisdom or tips for Charlene for the viewers?
Uh, the main one that comes to mind, because there's so many I've got, is that self-care is not self-indulgence. Self-care is self-respect. And I really feel that society conditioned us to feel that taking care of yourself is selfish. It takes away from taking care of other people. It's not at all. If you're addressing your mental, physical needs and health, then you can help so many other people if you're in a healthy state. So don't feel guilty taking care of yourself. Make sure you see it as a form of self-respect.
Oh, that's very good. That's very, very wise words. So I know where you're located at, in Colorado Springs. Can you just tell us, what's the best way to contact you? How can viewers, if they are like, yes, I need your help, I'm ready, how can they get in contact with you?
Oh, there's several different ways through social media. The main way is through my website, auricnutrition.com. You can also go onto my Instagram at The Healthy Life of Charlene, my Facebook page, Auric Nutrition and Wellness. You can also contact Justine. Otherwise, all my contact information is on my website. You can also find me on Yelp and Google. Last thing, I also want to mention a holiday promotion I'm doing. It's a 100 food panel food sensitivity test for only $49. So if you think that you've got some issues with certain foods that you're not sure of, then definitely do take advantage of that. That is a special going on till the end of the year. Again, a 100 food panel testing for $49.
Nice. That's a very good deal.
And a good Christmas gift.
Great. What's that?
And a great Christmas gift as well.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes. Definitely. So if they just contact you and say, just mention that they had seen this video and that they want to take advantage of that special?
Yes, absolutely. And I will make sure that you get that discount.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. So perfect. And I will just have you, you can even just put your links below. Charlene, after we're done with the video, just put in your Facebook links and all that stuff so that it's easy for everybody to find you. And I so appreciate you sharing your knowledge this morning. You've just been such a big help to my family, but also I know I've sent some patients your way that I suspected, they needed some nutritional support. So you've been very beneficial in their lives as well and helping them out. So thank you for coming on.
And thank you for having me on. It's always a blessing working with you and making education a priority to society. Thank you so much, Justine.
All right. Thank you. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.